Hello, everybody, and how's it going tonight? How's it going? Waiting on some people to come in.
All right.
Welcome you all to another session. We got Mr. Taylor Made in the house with us tonight. Welcome and welcome, my brother. I am excited and beyond happy to have you on the show tonight.
Well, thank you, my sister. I feel honored and privileged, and I've been keeping up with what you're doing since you started this new journey, and I'm so proud of how you've grown, and I'm so proud of the other people, Chess and Effects, Philly Down, who jumped in there and supported and protected our sister, because that's what Black men should do. That is your job as a Black man. So, and just the way you grew, girl, so everybody just kind of let you go, girl. You spread those beautiful wings and you soaring, and I'm so proud of you. So proud of what you're doing. And then and they're helping other people out so much too, changing other people's lives. That's a beautiful thing. It's a beautiful thing.
That's right. Just keep pushing the blessing, keep passing it down. I have to say, you guys completely like brought me in, embraced me. I mean, so many of you all just made me feel so welcome with the YouTube family that y- y'all exactly why Life in Haiti is Life in Haiti, and all of the people who continue to support Life in Haiti. So, you all, as you come in, I want to ask you all to please share the live tonight.
And
We
hit
have
those
an
thumbs
awesome live for you all.
up.
And the thumbs up. Yes, thumbs up. So, introduce yourself somewhat for some of the people who have yet to check out your channel and the great content.
Well, good evening to anyone who have not checked out my channel. I appreciate you showing my sister your love and support. But my channel is called Taylor Made Dreams, and I started my channel years ago. I actually had a earlier channel that it went for a couple of years. I wanted to take people on my journey from going from the crazy matrix and to moving abroad, and just basically teach people when you get over here how you can move, how to open up a bank account, buy real estate, the right questions to ask, who to ask the right questions to, and even give out, names of some people that, that did me well, that hopefully will give you the same benefit. So, my show, I talk a little bit about everything. I talk about life. I talk about the Dominican culture. I talk about relationships. And then sometimes we just go raw and I talk about any damn thing. So, one of those Friday night specials that we do. But basically, like I said, I'm just trying to let people know, spread the message that you have more options than you think, and you can make it. And Maria is the best example that I can think of.
Thank you so much, my brother. One of the main things that I love about your show is how you encourage people to get out of the matrix. Let me
Mm.
ask, why did you decide to get out of the matrix, and why do you advise somebody to do the same?
I'm gonna be honest. As a Black man, I just realized that no matter what I did, no matter how many degrees I had, no matter what neighborhood I chose to live in, no matter what car I drove, there's nothing that you can do in America to not make people look at you differently. No matter how cordial you are to the police, whether you fight them, cuss them out, say yes sir, no sir, yes officer, they still think you target practice. And once I realized ain't nothing I can do, and the matrix mindset is embedded that blacks are better than, I mean, white people are better than black people. It's written in the Constitution. They consider us three-fifths of a human being and still do. It's still in the Constitution. Once you figure out ain't shit you can do, all right, now you know your reality. It's time to do something else. And I said, if I can't have my paradise in the country I was born in, I'll take my money and I'll spend it elsewhere. And I always tell people, go where you're treated best. And Dominican Republic happened to be the place that treated me best.
Uh, so you enjoying DR? How's DR treating you?
Oh yeah, DR is treating me good, but I always tell people, you teach people how to treat you. Even when you come to another country, you definitely a guest. But you can be a guest that can immerse yourself in the culture. And when you meet people who you feel that can be a friend, I tell people that you use those same standards. I didn't come to this country and all right, so I trust everybody and I'm gonna give my money away and all that. No, no, no. You gotta be smart on how you move. But DR treats me very well. When I could go to any neighborhood and don't have to worry about, cops stopping me and getting killed or what am I doing in that neighborhood or walking to any mall, because Santo Domingo got some very high-end malls. I can go into any store. Nobody's looking at me, any different besides, the whole gringo thing. But anytime you step outside of your home country, you're going to get that. But Dominican Republic treats me well, and I respect it, and I definitely believe in giving back to it, because you have to give back to a cause that has given you so much, and you understand
That's
that well.
really well. That's right. Bring it forward tonight. Our title is "Does America Teaches Us to Hate?"
Mm,
And I couldn't think of anyone else. And from conversations with you briefly,
hmm
one of the things you brought to my attention, Marie, is not just America. Can
mm
you all too in the audience, please share the live, you all. Get more people on the live, share the live, give it a thumbs up. Let's represent too. And welcome, Mr. Taylor, to the Life in Haiti family. I
Thank
need
you.
you to elaborate and give me a little bit of what you think on this subject. And y'all are welcome to comments on what y'all think.
America has the best propaganda machine in the world, better than England, better than France, better than any other propaganda machine. And the biggest lie that America sold was racism. America has always been a racist country, will always be a racist country. America was built on racism. So if you build a country on the genocide of one people, and the enslavement of another, there's no way in hell you can get some good out of there. There's no way. And no matter how you try to polish it up, it's still that underpinning that America refuses to deal with. Even now, they keep, the government, don't want to deal with reparations when they have dealt with it with every other race, Chinese, when I mean the Japanese, when they did those enslavement camps, they went over there and literally stole land from Palestine to give to the Jews, and just go on and on and on about giving reparations. Even the Indian stuff, gave them lands. Now they got all these casinos, but America has not dealt with racism with black people, and I'm not even just talking about slavery. So we went from slavery, Jim Crow, to the Dixiecrats, to it's just never stopped. They even now they're creating laws to basically hinder the voting rights of black people, because every state that they thought they were going to win, where the black vote pulled it out, like Pennsylvania, um, Georgia, which was a total shock to me. They went and took them to court, and since they couldn't win in court, now they said, well, listen, we got all these elected racists, so let's just change it and make it so they can't do it. And like I said, America has always been a racist country, will always be a racist country. And I tell people, America is good for one thing: make your money and then leave. Set up your foundation for your generational wealth, for keeping you financially steady while you live abroad. Make your money, set it up, and then take your money where they treat you the best. Why stay and just keep feeding that racist machine? I know that's a long answer.
No, no, no. It's a great answer. Well, I asked this. It's been tugging at me. Number one is the state of our country. Okay, and children in America are being taught history, which, if you ask me, is not real. It's real because what they're teaching, they're promoting themselves, yet they're not taking responsibility and accountability for their role and what's going on in many other countries around the world. Do you agree?
No, absolutely. I mean, I believe, and strongly believe, 75% of American history is all bullshit because they're not going to tell you the real story. It's like those saying, the victors write history. If England would have won the war for independence, they would have wrote the history. If the South would have won over the North, they would have wrote the history. The victor writes history, but they always write history where whites are always seen as as the leaders,
The hero.
as the more intelligent, as the more courageous. And I tell people, listen, Crispr addicts, a black man was the first to die in the War of Independence, the first one. And Crispr addicts went from black to you try to look in some books, it damn near look white. And it's just, and it just goes on and on. You look, I mean, they not only do they preach and teach history with a lie, they even do it on the big screen. Look at Johnny Cash. Johnny Cash's first wife was a black woman. But when you sell the picture, I mean, when you saw the movie about his life, who they got in there? A white woman. Cleopatra, clearly a black woman. Who they got in there? Elizabeth Taylor, a white woman. I mean, America, it can't get out of its own way of whiteness. And now you got these trained assassins, because that's what I call the police. Trained assassins, trained murderers, trained mercenaries, walking the street, going into the black neighborhood and committing murder.
You have other polices all over the world too that's imitating what they're doing, and they're imitating the wrong and not the good. Now, we're not saying all police officers are bad because we really need them, but
Mhm.
for the bulk amount of what's going on towards us, you know about that. Bring
Yeah.
it forward so we can compare why we have the subject somewhat with what's going on in Haiti.
Okay. But
My
let me just say one
personal,
thing.
all
Let me
right, all
back.
right.
And
Mm-hmm.
and I don't believe all police officers are bad.
Mm-hmm.
What I want to know is though, where are the good police officers when they see somebody like Chauvin standing on a man's neck for 9 minutes and 26 seconds? When you got 10, 12 cops over there, not one of them. It took a 17-year-old girl on a cell phone to beg the officer to get off, to beg the officer to get off, and he still wouldn't do it. So, I mean, where are all these good cops? Everybody keeps saying, well, all officers not bad. Okay, I'll take that argument. I will take that argument because I've read some stories about some sisters, two sisters. I forgot which cities they were in, where they went to intervene when they saw, one of the what I call the race officer try to like choke this black dude, and a black female officer like separated them, and he started trying to choke the sister, a fellow officer, and then she got fired. 20 years later, she finally won her case and then was able to win her pension. But I'm telling you, and then cops, They said, oh, what, black neighborhood, we can't solve crimes because they don't tell anything. Cops are the biggest don't snitch that there is. Cops don't tell, and when they do tell their story, they give them 4 days to get the lie right. I used to be a deputy sheriff. I'm telling you, they will reach if you write a story and you have like I wrote incidents where somebody was hurt. I gave it to my sergeant. My sergeant said, "Oh no, he shred that shit up, threw it right in the shredder." He said, "I'm gonna tell you what to say, and this is what you write on the report." And that's what they do. That's what they do. I'm like, well, I said, well, I'm not making myself liable. This what we don't care about what you think. We care about how it reads. And I had to literally write the report the exact way he said. So, like I said, I will take the I will accept all cops ain't bad because I have some friends who were former cops. But I'm asking, and like I asked them, where are the good ones? Why all these black folks are getting killed? That's all I want to know. I'm sorry, baby. We go back to your question.
No, no, no. You're doing a great job. You're doing great. Now, one of the things that keeps tugging at me is the state of Haiti today.
Mm.
Now, I shouldn't even ask this question. I'm asking to bring us today. Have you been keeping up with Haiti news?
I've been keeping up with a little bit of Haiti news. I know right now they have a lot of political unrest going on. And everybody keeps saying that, oh, Haiti, huh? I'm sorry, babe.
No, no,
And
no.
people,
I was greeting my Haitian people, so excuse me. I have
no
not
problem.
greeted them the whole show. So salut tout le monde yo. I know you don't know no Creole, huh?
No, but I listen to a lot of Haitian music, so the music is awesome. I love those Afro beats.
Yes,
But
yes.
everybody keeps saying that Haiti is a poor country, right? Haiti's not a poor country. Haiti is a raped country, raped of its resources. Haiti has a lot of oil, has a lot of gold, but where is it going? Where is it going? And you got to remember when Haiti, the first black country who beat the French and won their independence. Haiti was what at that time Haiti was the number one importer of sugar because they had sugar canes and they and made French millions and millions and millions and millions and millions of dollars. When Haiti kicked French ass, excuse my expression, they embargoed Haiti 60 years. 60 years. Now imagine a country with no trade when you were the number one trade in sugar, and now you have no trade. And they did it for 60 years. And when they finally, and matter of fact, France even raped to add insult to injury. They got their butt kicked, but then they told Haiti, listen, if you don't pay us, we're going to come back and we're going to do this fight all over again. So I want you to pay us while we put an embargo on you, X amount of hundreds of millions of dollars a year. And Haiti had to pay this, I think it was into the 1990s they were paying this debt. That's insane. Absolutely insane. Haiti's not a poor country. Haiti's a rape country. And I wish people start saying Haiti is not poor. Haiti is being raped. And unfortunately now Haiti's being raped by its own people. But I'm trying to keep up with as much Haitian news as possible. But all I know is like there's a lot of civil unrest. When I got ready to come down there, I called you. And once you informed me what was happening, I changed my plans. so,
The thing is, we want more people coming in. We need more people coming in.
Mm-hmm.
And some would stand against what I'm saying. Gen moun ki pa reme lem di sa map di ya. I give my people some Creole too. Some people is not gonna like what I'm saying, but I will stand on it. My brother, the state that Haiti is in, my opinion, I do not think Haiti can get itself out of it. I am
Mm.
asking, does other countries who are powerful countries who are able to come in and assist bring about a level of stability, never just plain peace? Because where we're fighting for peace, there will be bloodshed. Where
Absolutely.
there's peace, there's where we need peace, there's war. I feel like somebody can say something in what's going on in Haiti. In the
Well,
line of work that I'm in, the oppression on the average Haitian people
mhm,
today is unimaginable.
mm. Well, I think Haiti, like I think African Americans, when Malcolm X was alive, Malcolm X
Mhm.
wasn't trying to fight the government of the United States. Malcolm X wanted to take the fight to the United Nations and the World Court. Because he said, going to the United States government is like asking the guy who's been kicking you in the head, can you please stop for a minute so I can serve you some papers? Ridiculous. Ain't gonna happen. And I think Haiti need to take their fight to the World Court, to the United Nations, and sue the hell out of France and other countries for that 60-year embargo. And they only was embargo because they were scared that word would get out and other blacks would free themselves and take and do the same thing that Haiti did. And you know what I'm saying? For doing something just, me not wanting to be a slave is just. If I kill your whole
We're still
family,
paying for it today.
huh?
We're still paying for that today.
We're still paying
For
for it.
the
We still.
decision to. Hmm.
Yeah, but if I kill if one day if I was a slave and I got up and the only way I can get out of here is to kill your whole family, I am just because I'm not supposed to be a slave. The black people that were taken from Africa was not slaves; they were enslaved, and that's why I try to tell people when you talk about that, get the language right. They were not slaves; they were enslaved. We were enslaved for a long because one day you free, you running in the field, next day you got chains on you. So America, like I said, I think Haiti need to follow the direction of what Malcolm X was trying to do, take their case to the United Nations and take it to the World Court. Now, will any of them listen? I don't know because guess who's running the World Court in the United Nations? The same racists that that are feeding the propaganda machine of racism spread all over the world.
My brother, listen. You got so much that's going on in Haiti, and I'm gonna get to the audience in a minute. You all, I'm gonna get to the audience. We got so much that's going on in Haiti. Now, Haiti does hardly no export. Almost everything is imported, brought
Mm.
in, right? Now you got major countries. We're asking, well, where is all of this stuff coming from that is still holding the people down? I ask, does it benefit somebody to keep us in the state that we're in?
Yes,
And
it does.
why is there not other countries coming in and saying, you know what? There needs to be a level of suction. There need to be, come on, y'all can do what y'all want to do in y'all country, but people cannot suffer like this on a daily without it being repercussions. Because during my immigration process, I learned a lot about UN. And Haiti is in the UN treaty. So there are certain things under UN law and policy that you cannot allow the people to go through. Who's enforcing those? And why aren't it being in? Why is it a blind eye turned on what's going on in Haiti? And people gets upset when you say it is because Haiti's a black nation. People don't want to hear that.
Well, tell them to name an impoverished white nation.
No, you tell the people that don't want to hear that to name
Exactly.
one for me.
Exactly. Tell them to name one. One
People don't want to
impoverished.
live in reality. They'd
No.
much rather you tell them what's good. They'd much rather you show them what's good, because the minute you start showing them reality, then now they're afraid. They don't want to talk about it anymore. Now there's a problem.
Yeah. Well, if you look at Haiti, right, and you said something earlier, there is a lot of money, a lot of wealth in keeping Haiti the way it is. How do we know? Because Haiti has some of the most beautiful beaches, the most beautiful islands in Haiti that you have ever seen. Haiti has places where the sand is white, beautiful, right? And mansions, got neighborhoods that you can go through Haiti and literally nothing but freaking mansions. I mean, literally strolls the whole freaking neighborhood. That's why I keep telling people Haiti is not a poor country. But the thing is, they, outside of showing you poor, begging people on the street, which is always, Haitian, and kids begging on the street, they don't want to show you how beautiful Haiti is. They don't want to show you, Cap Haitian. They don't want to show you different other parts of Haiti that are absolutely gorgeous, and that people have stole, raped Haiti, and have basically cocooned themselves in, separating themselves from the other world. Seriously, that's what they did.
Huh.
And
Let
what
me
about?
tell you, you see, you going somewhere.
Yeah, yeah,
I'm gonna let you talk. But I had the opportunity to travel to the south of Haiti recently.
mhm,
And the news, why I say America teaches us to hate. Whenever you look up Haiti right now, we're on red alert. They're telling us not to come to Haiti. Don't travel. Travel at your own risk. You come over here, insurance companies, whatever happens to you, whether you're there for humanitarian, whatever it is, you're not our responsibility once you make that choice. But
mhm,
once you travel out to the south of Haiti,
mm,
then you realize this is where they're hiding. Then you wondering, well, why you tell people not to visit my country? Porque só di moun piga ou vin visite peyi m. E pi e la nan peyi m ou ye wap kache. E la ou ye oui, men moun, people who are from this country, moun ki nan peyi ya, ki sot nan peyi ya, ki diaspora ki ap gade. Nou men nou pe pou nou entre Haiti, men yo men se la yo kache. The diaspora who are born here, Haitian citizens, they want to come into their country.
right.
They're on this alert. Oh, you cannot come into Haiti. But once you go to these beautiful areas you speak of, that's where they're hiding it. And you
Yeah.
wondering, what is that about?
Mm. Well, you know something? There's a lot of code words when they talk about black community, black people, black countries. All these code words.
Mm.
And they always, and white people, they love to do mission work, right? And this is how they
Mm.
fool the world. I'm gonna let me make this statement before I go with the other one. What is the one entity that white people have given black communities, black countries, and never interfered with it? Religion. Everything else that they saw that they think would make money, they found a way to take it, steal it, reproduce it, and sell it. Right, right up to today with hip hop. Hip hop was started in the Bronx, New York. Poor kids. Now hip hop is, is literally influences the world. But guess who's making more money on hip hop than the black men, whites, right? They're making much more money in hip hop than we've ever made or will ever make. So I'm saying this to say, religion, once they gave us this religion, like I said, that is the only entity that white people, white structures, white organization, power people has never interfered with us believing in a white Jesus. They've never interfered with that. Even during slavery, right? Even during
They
the
had
enslavement
accomplished the
period of America,
mission.
they tell them, hey, of course they took out a lot of parts in the Bible, like you should serve your master and be happy because you'll get your reward in heaven. And that's why you got so many people, so many black people giving their money to these churches and waiting to die to go to get to heaven, which is absolutely for me insane. But whatever you believe, you believe. Um, but that is the only thing, and you should question. Why is religion the only thing that white people ever gave us that they never mess with us on? So this is what I'm saying. They use these cold words. I'm gonna go to Haiti on mission work. The Clintons, we're gonna do mission work in Haiti, while they got with the Red Cross and stole $500 million from Haiti. Stole $500 million. They always want to do mission work, and then what pops up where they say we're going on a mission work? Churches, right? So what the church sitting on? Land. So you got these white churches buying land, buying up the best parts of Haiti, putting their pimps, their pastors in these houses, and making sure that their family is creating generational wealth in another land. I'm telling you, it is such a game. It is such a game. And that's why I always tell people, listen, I don't care what you believe in, but you should certainly question the one thing that white folks ain't never want to take back from us. You certainly should question that. And why every place in the world, there's a mission. And then when you go to those places of the world, they say Africa, they still living in huts. Beautiful places in Africa, all through Africa, Tanzania, Algeria, Albania, Ghana. But they still telling you, hey, right now, Africa, they got about 15, maybe 20 countries on Africa, places not to go. But white people stepping off those planes every damn day. Now, I know people going to say, hey, some people may say, Russell, man, I just think you're racist. And I want to correct that because I know some people's thinking. I cannot be a racist because racism, if you look at the very definition, it means a group or people or organization that oppresses somebody else. I'm not oppressing anybody. So let's get the language right, just in case somebody's thinking that. But I'm showing you facts. And if somebody don't want to deal with the facts or hear the facts, then that's a whole nother thing. But that religion, that whole mission, that's code word for we coming over. We're gonna take the best part, and then we're gonna dump the rest and leave and leave after we raped and tore it up. Who lives in the best part of Haiti? It ain't Haitians. I bet you. Who lives more in those mansions? More Haitians?
And they don't want to admit it, but they teach us to in some way. I was doing some research, and I believe I shared the link in the live too, in the description, Russell. And one of the things which was that stuck to me was how back then our masters taught us to beat each other, to hate each other. Okay. This was way back then when we weren't in control of ourselves, when it would just be for the fun of it or just to pass time. Marie, go beat Russell. Russell, go beat Marie.
Yeah.
And today, when we look at it, culturally, as far as black people in the whole, all over the world, what do we get? There's
We
this underlying. Mhm.
now I'm about to say we get a community of sick people. I mean, during enslavement period, you were forced to watch your mother get raped, your sister get raped, your father get raped. There's no way you could come out of this unbruised. The Holocaust lasted for 3 years, right? 3 years.
Mhm.
The AFLU, or all those other acronym of Jewish organizations, said that the Holocaust caused so much traumatic drama that it would take 3 or 4 generations to repair. Now remember, it only lasted 3 years. And America, Germany, France, all these countries got together, like I said, went to Palestine, stole it, basically told them, if you don't like it, we'll bomb you and take it. Stole a piece of Palestine, cut it out, gave it to Israel because they wanted their people to heal. We went through 200 years of slavery, and in some cases, still going through slavery, or at least the effects of slavery. And what do people always tell black people in America? You should get over it. And I always say, as
We're
soon
gonna
as you
be all
tell
right.
hey, I tell people, as soon as you tell a Jewish person to get over it, I'll get over it. 3 years compared
Yeah.
to 200 plus years. There's no way you can tell me that they're more hurt or more bruised than we are. There's no way. But like 3 years of the Holocaust, you want to repair these people. 200 years of slavery.
Mm. I just want to say, if it don't apply, let it fly. Okay, because I know I will get the comments, and this is not a bashing thing, but it is reality. Certain pains, you may not be able to understand unless you can relate to it, unless it hits close to home.
Mm,
And not to get off subject, but I want to use this as an example. With all the kidnapping and everything we hear, until I had somebody close to me tell me they have somebody that was missing and that person have not returned and came back home. I
mm.
think that's when I really, really understood the reality and what a lot of people were dealing with in Haiti. And we're in this subject, we're on that subject in reference to the nature of Haiti. You all, it is a blessing to be able to promote Haiti and the beauty of Haiti. And I just recently put up an upload to show you all the country, how beautiful it is. However, the reality of it is there's an uphill, like a violence, my brother, that's taking place in our country. That is no way as a YouTuber to not ever look around and not ever share that with the people. Because innocent people, not just innocent people, children, women and children. I just went to a center, my brother. Thousands of people were displaced. There's
Hmm.
no refuge for them. Like the people who are paid to protect the people of Haiti, they have failed us. But what is it that's in it for them that they continue to overlook the people? And I ask you all to reach out. Most of you are in America. America is one of the most powerful countries. Reach out to people. Keep on screaming about what's going on in Haiti, because Haiti cannot, the people of Haiti don't have a big enough voice to help themselves in Haiti. Do you understand what I'm saying?
I do. And I'm gonna tell you, something. When you, well, I'm gonna tell you what my psychiatrist told me. Hurt people hurt people. Let me repeat that.
Hmm.
Hurt people, people who are desperate, who are hurting, who are watching their kids hungry. They're watching their wives hungry. They're watching their grandmama dying of a malnutrition, a disease that could be cured with the 40 cent pill. I mean, when you're watching that and people are pushed into that position, how do you expect people to think? Haiti is set up to be exactly the way it is. And the people with power, because they put puppets in office in Haiti. There's been a puppet in there since they lifted the embargo and said, all right, now, we'll do a little business with you, even though now they don't export anything like they had with the sugarcane business. Now we want to do business with you when there's nothing left. Haiti don't even have enough trees to keep it safe from a bad hurricane right now. But like I said, when you rape a country of all its natural resources, when you beat down the people, when you tell people, listen, you got to pay me for enslaving you, making you build my house, making you build my machines, and now you putting me out because I beat you, raped your mama, shot your grandmother, cut your son, and now you putting me out, so you have to pay me reparations. I mean, just think about all of that on the psyche of a community, of a people. That's hard.
Our people
And
are
for
good
some
people.
reason, yeah, but for some reason, and this is just honest, you know, outside of the black diaspora, people think that we feel no pain, that we have no feelings, that my watching my mother hurt and your mother hurt is different, that I can handle it. Even Dr. Oz, right? Well-known white doctor, has his own show. Like the guy, I've watched his show over the years, over and over. He even said that he had to correct a colleague because one of his colleagues said that a woman came in for epidermal and he told her she didn't need one. And Dr. Oz said, well, why did you tell her that? And he said, well, blacks can tolerate more pain than anybody else. And this came from a white doctor, a very loved white doctor, because he's had his show for over 20 years.
Of course, of course.
He's even said the disparity, even on treating the black community. They have. I'm gonna tell you, I don't know what it is, but they have this incessant, sick, satanic mindset that we don't feel, we don't hurt, we don't love. I'm telling you, and
we
that
have psyched ourselves out to be so strong that we don't recognize pain.
yeah. So we keep hurting each other. You got a sick people. When you got sick people doing sick things to one another, what you expect to come out of it? Honestly, honestly. So the people and I tell you, I think everybody in America got post-traumatic slave disorder. I really do. Every black community got post-traumatic slave disorder. They do.
We are traumatized.
Look at Chicago. They're killing kids, shooting. You got to be of a sick, debilitated mindset to do that to somebody that looks like you. You got to be of a sick, satanic, debilitated mindset. I watched a newsreel where that guy was trying to kill. One dude ran up. This was like 2 weeks ago, trying to kill this one dude. I guess opposite gangs. 2 children are walking with the guy. He's shooting bullets, right there. I mean, like literally inches away from kids. What kind of sick person does this?
And that's one thing too, in order we say all this, but for so much to change around our world, we must make a decision, like choose certain things is just not right against humanity, and I'm not gonna do it. And
I agree.
yeah,
I agree.
let's go to the audience a little bit. That chick Jersey girl, and welcome to everybody that's in the live. Please give the live a like. Definitely share it with others. And if you have any questions for myself or Taylor, please feel free to ask. That chick Jersey girl says, of course, we as people of color can say, of course, America teaches us to hate. This country was built on suppression and oppression.
Amen.
Drady, yes, Drady says America's still giving Israel millions every year.
Not millions,
Um,
6 billion every year. Not
billion.
6 billion every year. America gives to Haiti. I mean, not Haiti. I
Hmm.
mean Israel. 6 billion.
Israel.
Israel every year.
We need to
6 billion.
find out what Haiti's getting. I mean, Haiti is getting billions in, and we're not seeing where that money's going.
Mm.
Billions in, and humility before honor said, I Marie, the North won the Civil War, but the South won Reconstruction. So the South told the story. I agree with this man. There is a segment of policing that has a slave catching mentality. Hmm.
That's where
Thank
policing
you for
came
that
from.
comment. Uh-huh. Hmm. That chick Jersey girl says the Mason Dixon line was drawn by white folks. Why should we stay? Would we be wrong to rise up and stop killing each other and make it open season on those white folks? Y'all be
No,
nice.
no, I'm
Be
gonna tell you.
nice, that chick Jersey girl.
Can I interrupt you for 1 second? If you want
Yes,
to,
of course.
if you want to stop the killing, I'm gonna tell you how you stop the killing. What's the one thing that these institutions love more than anything else? Money. They will sell their mama, their daughters, their sisters, everybody. Right? Look at history. Look at the history of England, where sons killed their fathers, fathers killed their brothers just to become the king. So institutions are the same way. They will kill each other. If every black parent put a $500,000 policy, you could do a term life insurance, right? Do a term life, which costs you cheaper than whole life. Put a $500,000 policy on your black child, and once these companies start paying these $500,000, trust me, the companies are going to get the policing, the correct policing in those neighborhoods to stop those killings. Because if you got 24 people killed, right, in a weekend, and this happening every weekend, and Liberty Unit, State Farm, they paying out $6 million every weekend in Chicago. Do you actually think they're gonna let that go on? They're either going to get the police to do something about it, or they're going to rewrite their policy, which basically they have to rewrite it for everybody else. If you want this killing to stop, hit them where it hurts the most, the money, because we ain't got enough guns, right? I tell people there's only a couple ways we can win a fight. One, start our own revolution, kill those who kill us. Not a good idea. Not a good idea. That's the thing I tell you, don't ever do. You outgunned, right? And you are out hated. But hit it where the money is. Or be smart like me,
Mhm.
get your chips together and leave. And like when America gave us that stimulus check, I say thank you because I spent it right here in DR. I'm sorry, Marie. Go ahead, baby.
Like many others in Haiti with the same status as you. You know, that's exactly
Amen.
what they did. Soccer boat say Haiti needs a Castro. I said what I said. And many people would disagree. But I do believe that the leader of Haiti would have to be someone who's very, very strong. And
Mm-hmm.
the crazy thing is, for Haiti to change the state that is in, I do see it going, somewhere that's just not a place that's the friendliest place for the average person. The
Mm-hmm.
thing about our country is that someone mentioned that it's very mismanaged. That's very true. But it is one of the things with Haiti that causes it to be not such a good thing, you all, is the fact that it's mainly the poor people which hurts when some of this stuff start happening. You know, the people at a certain level, now crimes does happen against all sorts of people, but it is the people who are less fortunate, the people who are innocent, that seems to be held for collateral damage. And to me, that is the sad part. Your,
Mm.
yours truly says, in under Boyer's presidency, Haiti and DR was united like one country. Boyer ruled over both Haiti and DR. So I can imagine Boyer tried to split that debt payment with DR. So Boyer raised tax in DR. I mean, if the thing about it is, we have to start loving our country too. We know the history. I always say it's a lack of education. And believe it or not, even some of the officials which are in high position, they must lack education. Absolutely no way for you to be educated and know the history of Haiti now with the way Google is. Whatever you don't know, my brother, you are able to research. I sometimes spend time just drowning myself in the information that I find out. I realize that some of these people that have these powerful seats, do you not ever feel a certain type of way for you to know your history, for you to say you educated and went to school, and for you not to fight for your own house? Who do you expect to care about you when, if you live in your house full of trash, nobody's gonna come and clean you up around you because obviously you like it, right?
Mm-hmm. Mm. Well, I'm gonna tell you. I'm gonna
You
say
know,
this.
and I feel like it takes. Mm-hmm.
I'm gonna say because you said
I'm
something.
listening.
You said something about humanity earlier, and if you do not see the humanity in
Mm-hmm.
people, right, then I'm just like a wild dog. I don't see the humanity in you. I don't see that you can be a mother. I don't see that you somebody's daughter. I don't see that you can be somebody's sister. Once people start looking at you and don't see your humanity, you got a dangerous person in front of you. You really just got a rabid dog. Honestly, you do. And unfortunately, what's happening and I know in the diaspora, especially in America where I came from, you got a lot of rabbits running around, a lot of rabid dogs, and that's just true. They don't see the humanity. Like I pointed out the other day, a guy shooting bullets, and you got two small kids, and you don't even see that you can kill a child. It, to me, no worse than a rabid dog that should be put down. But you got to see the humanity in people in order to make change. And the leaders are
You know, one
broad.
of the things you mentioned, uh-huh, and that's the thing. There's no value for human life in our country. You
Mm,
mentioned about holding these insurance policies, these insurance companies, right, to
mm,
a higher standard. And that's the main problem too with Haiti. There's no, it seems to be no value to the life of an average Haitian person. I
mm,
pay insurance for my car here. Absolutely no way that I can ever claim anything. These insurance companies don't work for the people. Solely you give your money and you
mm,
never hear from them again. They
mm,
take your money for the year and there's no you can't report anything to them, whether if it was a hit and run. A lot of the times some people in Haiti are mean. They'll see your car park, hit it, and never say anything. Motorcycles running around without paperwork for theirs, no insurance, hit your vehicle. So you start to wonder, where does your money go?
mm,
There is life insurance policies in Haiti, But many people complain how when someone dies, it still takes forever. It's like there's nothing being supervised, there's no overseer. And wherever we just see money, it's gonna our country will always be like this. So for Haiti, in order for us to make a big drastic change, we the people of Haiti, whatever your position is, from rich, poor, whatever, middle class, wherever we come from, we have to make a decision to work as a whole. And like you say, the people are constantly fighting. And I said, well, there's the major lack of education. What are you fighting for? Are you fighting because somebody invited you to fight? Or are
Mm,
you getting out there like the older Haitians, passionately getting out there for a cause? We have to fight for a cause. And the cause is to be treated as normal human beings. We have a thing right now in Haiti. No gas in our country, Russ. People are fighting like animals. Just this afternoon, I end up sliding in right when they open. And I'm
mm,
going in there once again in a gas fight. And the people are fighting. And one of the guys who's one of the head people at the gas station, he start like beating my car any kind of way, carelessly. And I'm like, hey, who
right?
are you? And the guys on the side are telling me because he wants me to stop to let somebody else go by because it's all about business, what benefits them. That's his homeboy. And I'm like, I'm not doing that. I'm not gonna stop. But the other people, for them to stand up against him, because clearly what he did was wrong, they're trained. You know what they did? They said, you better not say nothing to him because he's the one that's in control of the gas and this and that. And I said, oh, so you reap the benefits of people mistreating you. No, you are okay with people treating you less than. I said, I
Mm,
don't care if I get gas. Même que m jwenn gaz, même que m pa jwenn gaz jodi an, pa gen moun ki ap maltrete, pa gen moun ki ap vin bat machin nan, e pa gen moun ki ap bam n'importe bagay. There's no service here. It's like our peoples in Haiti are so far behind. And when you look at it, my brother, I'm going to say this a million times. And if people don't like it, this is my opinion. This is not a fact. It is because Haiti is a black nation. Our
it is.
people sometimes interacting with people in Haiti, the way they just interact with each other in certain groups, the way they make us fight each other for everything. Number one thing right now is gas. Like soon as people get in this line, something that can be simple, my brother, um, is get in a line one by one and we're able to actually make the line flow. We
Mm.
have no sense of that. And I'm like, these are things which were taught in elementary. But then when you get an educated person that's right there and they're like, Madam, some people didn't even go to elementary. Where do we change that system to get us in line with the rest of the world, Russ?
I'm gonna tell you.
Whoever created this. Okay, hold on. Sucker Boot says when you ask for others to get involved, you have to understand that comes at a price. No one is going to help just to be nice. They will want something in return. Well, they're already getting something anyways. So why not get something in return from them, which is a level of stability
Mm. I
for what
believe
it's
like,
worth.
yeah, but I believe like the other person said, you do need a Castro. You do need a Castro. If anybody understands the history of Cuba, Castro started a coup because what he did not like was America bringing racism to the country. Before, because in the early '60s, when the mafia was running, had some of the biggest casinos in Cuba. You had Chase Bank, you had all these banks down there. They were basically running Cuba, and they handpicked a puppet for president. And they didn't like that, that a dark person could work at the front of a hotel. So they start saying, no, 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 don't you have some light Cubans put in the front of the hotel? And they were doing all this. And Castro was like, hey,
Mhm.
hey, hey, our Cubans are even. Our Cubans are even. So Castro, he took the Marxist theory, the communist theory, because he believed in an even playing field. But what people don't know, Castro didn't just do that against people. He did it against his own family. Castro came from a very wealthy family, a very wealthy family. But he even took their lands and distributed it out to the people. And he said that he did not like the way that America brought racism into Cuba, and he wanted to end the racism in Cuba. Now, did he succeed? Uh, yes and no, because right now Cuba has a two-tier even money system, and guess who gets paid more, and guess who gets paid less. But at least he did something that no other country has ever done. Cuba is 98% literate. 98% literate. That means 98% of the
Mhm.
people in Cuba have degrees. And you know what Cuba exports more than
Mhm.
anything in
And the
the world?
languages.
Doctors. Yes, doctors. When Rwanda was having
Doctor.
the genocide during the Clinton
Huh.
era, Cuba sent troops in there to stop the genocide way before Clinton sent it in. Cuba has been exporting doctors for years because they have a 98%, like I said, literacy rate. Now imagine if Haiti, even though it's poor, but you had a 98% literacy rate. Cuba is just as poor as Haiti, but they ain't got all that craziness going on that Haiti does because people are literate. And when you're literate, it brings a whole nother element.
Mm.
So I'm with the
I
guy.
believe when people,
Bring Castro in
uh-huh.
there.
We had something like a Castro, and the people just it was so much. Aristide was one of, I would say, the greatest presidents in Haiti. Nobody is perfect. Nobody would please everybody. But one of the things that I admired about this guy so much was that for many years Haitians spoke Creole, and that language was never nationally recognized
Mm.
until he made it a nationally recognized language. It's like that is how they're able to keep Haiti at the level that it is on. Now, before we go, Russ, I asked almost all my guests this, especially in the same line of work. You have some great content. I want to thank you again for coming on the show and sharing some great knowledge and wisdom with us. What are some of the goals that you have for your channel this year? Are you planning on doing another marathon for YouTubers? Um, what are you got going on over there?
All right. Well, yeah, I'm going to put together another marathon. I think it was great. The last marathon, we gave out money on an hour, straight out of my pocket. I cash out. But this year we're going to raise money. What I want to do is build a community center in the city of Sasua, uh, because education in DR is just as bad as it is in Haiti. Believe me, their education system is it's out of the 15th century. It really is. It's that bad. So I want to do something different. I know
Mhm.
the only way I can do it is to have control over it. So that's what I want to do. So I'm gonna be doing that. But
Let
also
me find out you did my line of work.
huh?
I said, let me find out you getting in my line of work.
Oh, girl, yeah. Well, kids are my thing. But also, there's a fellow YouTuber. He just started his channel, and I want to build this young. He's a Dominican guy. He's half Bermuda and half Dominican. He was raised in Bermuda, but he lives in Dominican Republic because he says he just love it, love his country here. And I want to build him to be self-sufficient, just like Miss Marie did from the ground up, and now self-sufficient, doing your thing in the YouTube world.
Thank
So
you.
I'm gonna ask my YouTube friends to show him some love. Can he come on your channel, even if you do 15, 20-minute interview with him? He's a great tour guide in Santiago. So if you do get to DR and you want to know all about Santiago and the history, this would be the gentleman to definitely see. He speaks 4 languages. And like I said, I just want to see this young man do great things. And I said, I'm going to do that. And so I told him, give me 8 months. Give me 8 months, and I'll make you self-sufficient. So we're going to see.
Mr. Flip Flop, Mr. Flip Flop,
What's
thank you
up,
so
brother?
very much for stopping by and visiting us.
Yeah,
How's
so
it going? I know that's your boy.
yeah, yes, it is. We're gonna see each other Friday. We got some partying to do. My birthday, my 59th birthday is coming up Friday.
Oh yeah. Oh well, I'm just finding out. Well, just want to wish you a happy early birthday, Russ. Happy early birthday.
Thank
Definitely, if I was in DR, I'd have to make sure you get that
you.
drink.
Well, I appreciate it. And thank you for having me on your show. It was fun. I hope I ain't scared some of your audience off. But it is what it is. And my channel is gonna stay my channel. It's gonna stay on.
No, actually, I don't think so because uh-huh. That chick, Jersey girl, say, Marie, last week you asked about Haiti's immigration office. Well, they showed up. They gave Ice T the stamped passport. Well, Ice T is Haiti's boy, so I'm telling you, I don't think there's a thing he could want for in
Mm,
Haiti that doors would not fly open for him because he is beloved in Haiti, and whether people like him or not, there are people you have to give them the credit for the role that they play in a country, right?
amen.
A roll of tape. I got YouTubers in the house. Hello, roll of tape. I will be calling you and talking to you soon. And welcome you all. If you have yet to check out Mr. Flip Flop and also roll the tape channel, you all please check them out. My sister Arlene, I know you be everywhere. So if you have their link, please share their channel link and also share Tailor Made Dreams link in the live for everyone to stop by and check out these brothers. One of the main things, if you know me today, it is all between all of them, Second Effect, Philly Dumb, Fitness and Travel, many YouTubers, see Genty, Brother Love in Haiti, so many people that are encamped around me from day one to get life in Haiti the stage that it has today. I always credit everything to God, but God placed y'all on my path as angels. And I just want to thank each and every one of you all for being there.
All right.
So, Russ, I want to tell you if there's any last word you want to share with the audience before you leave. Thank you again. Thank you so very much for enlightening us, for speaking about this pretty controversial topic. People don't want to hear it, but it is just a fact. As a Haitian woman that fights to speak out, I hate politics. That's not a road I want to take, but there are certain things that you just cannot be a YouTuber or be a public figure and completely ignore. That will make me such a great hypocrite. Not only that, to be misleading the many of you all who watches Life in Haiti's content, and I lead you into something that's clearly not what you were expecting. And
Amen.
you get what I'm saying? Oh,
Amen.
Mr. Roller Tape. You carry 25 people, 25 people. Thank you so much, Mr. Roller Tape. Thank you so much. God bless you, my brother. Thank you. And also, Stallion, you carry 10 people, Stallion. I do apologize, got caught up talking, but I thank you too, Stallion, for your continuous love and support of life in Haiti. So, my brother, close out the show. Let us, any last words?
All right, well, I'm gonna start a new channel. It's gonna be totally different from Tailor Made Dreams. I want y'all to check it out. I should have it up by next week. It's going to be called um, "Alcohol is Cheaper Than Therapy." So we're gonna go around to some different bars. So it's gonna be about some of the best bars to go to, different drinks, tell a little bit of history about some alcohol, for us boozers, and and just have fun. It's gonna be just a very light channel, a very fun channel. So the channel, like I said, is gonna be called "Alcohol is Cheaper Than Therapy," and definitely come there, show me some love. If you got a drink that you concocted. I'll be taking each week people's suggestions on drinks and mixing one up here in the house and seeing how it tastes for myself. So I appreciate you, Maria, again. Keep doing great things. I love you. It's no
Welcome.
wonder why other people love you. You are so
I love
warm,
you too.
personable, and you care and you're passionate. And that's what is that fire in you that
Thank
everybody sees. So thank you for having me on your show.
you. Thank you. You're welcome. And be sure you share the link with me. I don't drink, but I definitely be there to give my subscribership just because it's you.
Thank you, babe.
Just because it's you, I will be there, okay? To be one of your first subscribers on board.
Appreciate you. Appreciate you. And take
Uh,
care of
Also,
United 80 people. Now I'm saying goodbye to your
one
audience.
second, I wanted you to, okay, I wanted to mention rest in peace to Yosef Watif.
Yes. Yeah.
I'm not sure if some of my peoples that's been with me from day one would probably know Mr. Watif because I also did an interview with him on his show early
Mm,
on with Life in Haiti. He was one of them that reached out to Life in Haiti and very intelligent brother, embraced life in Haiti, and also in the background took out some time to teach me some things. I could not believe actually when Second Effect shared that with me, and I'm like, what?
mm.
I don't know if you know exactly details like what happened.
I don't know the details. I know that all I know is he got sick. I think like started with a cold or something, and it blossomed. But that's all the details I know. The young lady who Yusef gave access to this channel, she has not done it. She's done an update last week, and she said that he was getting better. But unfortunately, he was getting better maybe for a day or two, but then it reversed itself. So hopefully she'll be reaching out and putting some on his channel to acknowledge and maybe give details, maybe not. But a brother gone too soon, another good brother gone too soon, and it reminds me of Brother Charles Taylor. Brother Charles Tyler, who was over in Brazil. Also, that was his dream to become a social media influencer through YouTube, Facebook, and everything. And I went to Brazil, made it, made his dream trip, was there to stay, and he passed away too. So, brother Charles Tyler, brother Yusef, I can only imagine the conversations they having in heaven if that's what you believe in. So, rest in power. I love brother Yusef, like you said, intelligent dude, so strong. I mean, his arms look like tree trunks. So I never thought that, something
I'm like, he's
would
too
take him.
strong to go.
Yeah, yeah, he was. I don't know what happened. Don't know.
Wow. Well, my condolences, to the family. It's always a hard time. I know some of my viewers are facing hard time too. My condolences to everybody. The thing about it is that's why every show I always tell you all, let's not take people in our lives for granted. Let's not wait until the day that they're gone to let them know how much you miss them, to tell you I love you, because we only know the days that we have. We do not know the days we have left. Embrace people, love on them, because I never know when it's if it's me or somebody in my life. We just gotta live because we're all just passing through. Thank you so much, Taylor, for this great hour and 15 minutes. Stay blessed, my brother. God bless you. And I just want you to know you are welcome here on the Life in Haiti stage anytime.
Appreciate you. Good night.
Good night. Bye bye, everybody. Y'all, please like, definitely share, subscribe to this channel if you enjoy the content. I hope you all enjoy the show tonight. Quick reminder, you all be kind to one another. Don't take each other for granted, because on a daily, it's like every day, this is like the book of Ecclesiastics tell us, nothing under the sun is new. It's steady happening, and every time it hits us as if it is something that's brand new. So let's not take the time to wait to the end to tell the people in our lives how much we love them, to embrace them, to appreciate them. Let's not go to sleep mad. Let's not go to sleep upset. Let's adapt a forgiving heart, you all, towards other people, regardless of what it is that you're going through. It's not about big eyes and small U's. It's not about I'm right and you're wrong. When you love somebody, you all, whichever it is, try and be the calm one. Cool down. Be the forgiving one, you all, and always gracefully let them know just how much you appreciate them. Living in Haiti with everything going on a day-to-day basis, you all, you never know where life is going to take you, where your foot is going to land. That is the number one reason why we should appreciate and love each other even more. And I know it's not just in Haiti, it's all over. Mo 245 says good advice from a guy who lives in the DR and not Haiti, from a guy that deals with light skinned prostitutes. Okay. Maggie says, thank you for all that you do, Marie. Keep on shining, girl. God loves you. Thank you so, so very much. God loves you all too, and I definitely love you all. Please share the live. Thank you all. Y'all have a blessed night.